Hello friends, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another day of Vlogtober. If you're new here, I'm Shawon, and all this month I'm uploading a daily video with other YouTube content creators for Vlogtober. In today's video, I thought I would take you along for a tutorial, show you behind the scenes of ScreenFlow, which is an editing tool that I use for both videos here on YouTube and also occasionally for creating Instagram Reels. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my Instagram process because I mentioned that in a video earlier this week when we had, I think it was a day in the life video, a come work with me. So I figured that I would share and a walkthrough, more in-depth tutorial, if you will, of my process and what that looks like. I don't always use ScreenFlow for Instagram Reels, but whenever I use my Sony camera, which I'm recording on right now, if I'm using that to make like content, it just makes it easier for me to do it on my desktop inside of ScreenFlow. So that's what we're going to dive into today. If you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive into this tutorial. Okay, so we're inside of ScreenFlow and I have already uploaded the video clips that I'm going to use as well as the music that I will be using for this reel. And simply when you are inside of ScreenFlow, you'd simply just select this plus symbol to add files from wherever you've stored or saved your clips or video clips that you're going to use for your reel. So here are all of my clips once again. So right here, I'm going to take the first clip and I'm going to slide it down to my timeline. So I'm going to bring it all the way over here to the very corner. I'm going to move this. Just ignore this for a moment. What I've done is already created the reel too, so I can give you some extra little steps as we're going through, but just disregard those over to the side. All right, so I have my clip here, and what I need to do first, so I've selected the clip, and I'm going to just slide it down one bar. Let me slide these guys over a bit more so that they're out of here. This is a pretty long clip. All right, I'm going to bring it down just a bit to there. All right, that's good. Sorry about that. Okay, so currently this clip is highlighted, and I know because it's in yellow around it. And as you can see, it is not in the correct orientation. So I'm going to select this little dial here. Just select that little dot to rotate it into place. So now my clip is all into place. I'm going to now trim it to the parts that I want to use for the Instagram reel. So I'm going to come over here. I know it's about right there. And it's highlighted, it's yellow. The clip is yellow, highlighted. So I am going to now select the T on my keyboard to trim it. And now I'm going to drag it back down. There we go. We trimmed quite a bit there. All right. Now I'm going to use this little red scrubber to kind of go through, speed it up. You can also, instead of using the scrubber, you can also press your space bar to play through the clip to get to the desired space where you want to trim it. You can select the pause. You can use your mouse pad and select pause. You can also select play to do that process once again. Or what I like to do is to use the scrubber. I'm just going to pause it here. And I'm just going to use the scrubber because it's a lot easier to go through the clip and make that trim. Because I don't want this process to take a long time at the end of the day, right? So there we go. Let's see, I know about where I wanted to trim it. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to stop it right there. Go a little bit further. There we go. All right, and I'm going to select the T again to trim. Now I'll delete the part that I'm not going to use. All right, bye-bye. It's all gone. All right, first clip is done. Now I want to drag down my next clip. I'm going to simply just select it, drag it down. Now, in order to see it, I'm going to move my scrubber over to the highlighted part. So there it is. Now I'm going to select that dial right there on the dot to rotate it into place. There we go. Now, once again, I'm going to go through the process of trimming. I'm going to use my scrubber to do so. And I hope it's called a scrubber. If not, don't hold that against me. All right, here we go. I'm just going to trim here. I'm going to go back. Oh, actually, I remember where I want to trim this one. I'm kind of trying to show you guys in real time too what I did. All right, so I'm going to trim off this back end portion. I'm going to highlight that part again. We're going to go back to about right there works. Okay, I'm going to trim it here, hitting T on my keyboard. I'm going to delete this portion as well as this one. Now I'm saving some space for it in the middle because I know that the other clip that I want to use to complete this reel, it's a two-part clip. And the other day when I had a work with me day, I shared with you that I wanted to have this be a side by side. So I wanted to have two outfits or myself be in the frame side by side. And I'll show you in a second exactly what I'm talking about. And in order to do that in ScreenFlow, to make it so that, and I'll drag over my example, this is a good time to show you that. Let me grab my scrubber. Let me hit the pause button. Let's bring the scrubber all the way over. Let me move this down so it's a little closer. All right, so this is what I mean. What I wanted to do was to have myself side by side in the frame like this. And in order to do that, I am actually layering on or stacking one clip on top of the other. So here's the first one here. Let's go back down to my example. So there is one of the clips, right? And I'm now going to bring the other clip down just below it. Let's bring this guy back up on this level of the timeline. All right, let me highlight this one and we're going to rotate it. I know that I'm working on this clip because it's highlighted here at the bottom. That's how I know which one I was moving. Now I'm going to slide this one over. And I remember correctly, this one goes here. We're going to slide this one over. And I'm simply using my mouse pad on my laptop in order to move these two clips around. And once again, I'm able to do this because as you can see on the timeline, they're stacked on top of the other. All right, so I'm going to go in and work on this clip first. And let's go right here. I'm going to trim this. So let's just hit T. Now I'm going to delete the portion I don't need. And let's go to about right there. All right, and I'm going to trim that side. All right, so my first clip is complete. Now let's go down to the bottom one. And the bottom one is the one that is on your left right now, if that's helpful. All right, I'm going to start this one right about there. Select T, trim. Let's drag it down so it's right on top here so I can see what I'm doing. All right, there we go. All right, and I'm going to trim it right there. And in order for them to stay aligned, so right now you can see I have a little bit extra footage on this side. So I'm actually going to trim it right there so it stops in the same place. I'm going to highlight both of these by simply using my mouse pad here. I'm going to drag them over so that when I play the video, it just runs right to the next clip. All right, now I'm going to bring over my last clip. All right, progress, right? Okay, so I have all of my clips trimmed exactly how I want them to be trimmed. Now I know that I need to keep the attention of my audience when they're watching this reel, right? Keeping their attention is important. So I need to speed this up. Right now, this clip is about a minute, almost a minute long, this video would be. And that's really, in my opinion, that's quite a long time for a reel, especially when I'm showing some outfit inspiration here. So I'm going to highlight simply by using my mouse pad. I clicked on that first clip. I'm going to double click, and now I am inside of the clip inspector. I can speed up this video clip. So right now it's 21.2 seconds. Let's bring it down to about 8 seconds. All right, easy peasy. Now instead of 21 seconds, it's 8 seconds. All right, let's pause that. And now let's highlight all of these guys and bring them down. Now we're going to do the same thing for the remaining clips. These two that are stacked on top of each other, they have to be in the same timing because they are presenting that I'm in the same video clip, essentially. All right, we're going to make this one, let's say 5 seconds. So you can use the slider as I did the first time, or you can just simply type in the time. And the same thing here, we're going to double click and we're going to make this one 5 seconds too. Easy peasy. Now I can remove this space. I could slide this over with my mouse pad, or I could click in this empty space. It's going to turn blue. I'll just hit delete and it automatically comes on down for me, connects with the other part of the clips. All right, we're going to double click here again, and we're going to make this guy 7 seconds. All right, so let's just go through a little quick bit of it. All right, next one. Awesome. I'm going to pause it here. And now we are going to add our music in. And I'm going to give you two options when it comes to music. The first option is you can just export your reel that we've made here or video. We can export it without music. So that will give us the option once we are inside Instagram, we can choose music that is available to us on the app. The second option is to add your music in while you're in screen flow. I tend to lean towards the second option so that I can work smarter and not harder, right? So I use licensed music through Epidemic Sound, and that means that, I can use it without any issues. I don't have to worry about using copyrighted music. And once I import or add my music here inside of ScreenFlow, when I export that video clip, I can now use it on Instagram, I can use it on Facebook, I can use it on LinkedIn, and not worry about any copyright issues because I have a license to use the music. And if you're interested in Epidemic Sound, I will leave a link down in the description box for you. All right, moving right along. So I wanted to give you some explanation around the music. So I have already, as well with the clips, pre-uploaded the music that I'm going to use with this video. So I'm going to slide it here on my timeline, and it's going to be the first thing on the timeline so that it actually plays. So we're going to, let's see, first up, we're going to reduce the volume. I'm going to bring it down to about 12%. And then I'm going to slide my little scrubber over, and I'm going to add in an action. And this action will serve the purpose of having a fade out of the sound at the end of the video. So once I have my action, I simply click on it and I move my cursor to the right to expand the length of the action. And now I'm going to, your scrubber does need to be at the very end of the action in order for you now to bring the volume all the way down to 0. And that's going to give us a fade out. Now my last step with my music is to trim it, get rid of the part I don't need, And now the video is all ready to go with music. And I'm going to pause it right there. So once you've gone through, you've listened, you've made a double check that your video is in the order that you like, is at the speed that you like, it's now time for you to export your video or your reel. So we're going to go up to, we're not going to go up to edit. We're going to go up to file. We're going to go to export. And then you're going to save it as, so name your video or your reel. Save it where you'd like to save it. And then with the resolution, we're going to go down and select 1080 by 1920 and 100% of the original. Once you have everything, the name here, where you're going to export it, and that selection chosen, you're going to simply hit export and you're all done. So now we're going to walk over to Instagram or click over to Instagram, and I'll let you see the finished reel from this tutorial. Friends, I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you have any questions for me, leave them down below. Once again, thank you so much. Welcome to all of the new subscribers. And if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.